Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Samantha, and in today's video, it's going to be really quick. I just wanted to share about Faces of History with you guys. I shared about Faces of History with y'all last year, and last year I had two kiddos who were still in CC Essentials. This year, my oldest went to Challenge A, and now I only have one in Essentials, and that is my daughter. And I explained a whole lot more about Faces of History in that last video, so I will link that for you guys so you can go check that out, get an idea of what we did. We did the ancient history based writing lessons last year with IEW, and then my son chose Montezuma and my daughter chose Esther, and so we got their readers for that, and you can see all about that in the other video. But this year was she's missing the front cover, so I'm gonna have to show you guys the back. This year was medieval history-based writing lessons. So for Faces of History, all of the kiddos are choosing someone from medieval history. So with that being said, we have our Faces of History coming up on Monday, which would have happened before you guys see this video. So I'm not ruining any, I'm not ruining her character. There's no spoilers. So I'm making sure to put this up after we've already done Faces of History. Okay, so like I mentioned, the whole writing component of our Faces of History program is IEW. They use the structure, style, everything that we've gone over for the year goes into this final paper, and with it there's like this huge celebration of the kids' work, and they prepare a quick, like I think it's like 5 to 10 sentence presentation to present to their peers in class with them, as well as to our community. It's a whole big deal. It's really fun and really awesome. My kids have enjoyed doing it. I really enjoy doing it. It's one of our favorite things about CC, even though it was a little intimidating to me at first. Now, this being our third year, I have grown to really love and enjoy it. So this year, my daughter chose for her Face of History was Lady Jane Grey. So her paper is on Lady Jane Grey, who is also known as the 9-Day Queen. It was fun to learn more about her story with my daughter as she read through the books and prepared her keyword outlines and wrote her paper, and as I edited her paper for her. It's always like so fun to see all of the things throughout the year come to fruition in that final paper. So I wanted to share with you guys the IEW, which I already shared with you, but I also wanted to share with you what we use as resources, as well as the components of her costume for Faces of History. So let me go ahead and start with the resources that we used for her paper. Okay, so as with most of my daughter's books, this one is also missing a cover. I need to repurchase this book because my younger daughter, I'm sure she's going to want to read these as well. But we got her story from the Lightkeeper series, and so my daughter has two different, I think two or three different books from this series. But this one, oh, there's 5 books she's telling me. But yeah, this one has the entire cover taken off because she's read it so much and used it as a resource. But this is the from the Lightkeeper series, 10 Girls Who Didn't Give In. That's it right there. I will have it linked below so that you guys can see what this book is supposed to look like. But this is the first one that we use. Again, it has 10 girls that it's talking about in here. So there's just a portion of this book that talks about Lady Jane Grey. So we were able to go in there and use it. Actually, even though it's short, it's very, very informative. So there was lots of really good information in here. So this is the first one that she used. And there aren't actually a lot of books that talk about Lady Jane Grey. So you can have 3, I think it's up to 3 sources for IEW. Or like you can have 2 to 3 sources for your Faces of History. And as the kids get older, you want to give them more sources, as well as like doing, 3 topics versus 2 topics. You want them to do more. But with Lady Jane Grey, there just wasn't a whole lot that I can find. So she has a chapter in this book. And then I found the Christian biographies for young readers. They have a Lady Jane Grey book which this was incredibly helpful. This was an amazing resource, and they have these little Christian biographies for young readers on all sorts of people. This is really good because the book tells their entire story, but there's also a timeline in the back of the book that gives a breakdown of their life and all of the significant things that happen in their life. So without having to constantly reread the book, you're able to easily go to that timeline and grab some information from there for your different topics. So these were her 2 books for Faces of History. And then I will share with you guys her costume. We got this like Renaissance dress, which I think is going to be really popular in our community because we do Narnia Day, which is a Renaissance type festival thing that we do. And so it just works really well for Narnia Day. And then I told my daughter that it would also work really well for her Lady Jane Grey costume. So we got it from Amazon, and this is what the top of it looks like. And then it just has these really pretty sleeves and goes down this way. So if you're looking for a Renaissance costume for anything really, or if you're watching this video a couple years later and we're back in cycle 2 and you're looking for a costume for one of your characters, this is a really good one. And then it came with a headband that is just like pretty simple, like this gold here. But I bought this one, which I think is the Tudor style, because in her book we saw pictures of them wearing this. So this is the headband that she's going to wear, and it's got pearls on it, which Lady Jane Grey apparently was known for wearing pearls. My daughter's going to wear pearl earrings, and we couldn't decide on what kind of a necklace for her to wear, whether to wear pearls or something else. But in her book we saw that she wore necklaces with pretty big pendants, and while we didn't have that, we did have this one on hand already that is a really pretty pendant. And so this is what she's going to pair with it. So this is her costume components. So it was really, really easy to find and put together the components for her costume this year, and inexpensive. Last year, to find the components for her Esther costume, I found one that was specifically done by a costume company for Esther, and that's what I bought, but it was kind of pricey. So I really liked that I was able to piece things together this year and keep the cost down, which is really beneficial when you have more than one kiddo doing Faces of History. But my son's components last year I was able to piece together because he was Montezuma. So that is all that I have. Like I said, this was a super short video, but a lot of you guys, especially those of you that are also in Classical Conversations, enjoyed watching that video from last year about Faces of History and who my kids were and what their resources were. So I thought that I would go ahead and share that again this year. And next year's really fun, and we already have our wheels turning about who my daughter's going to be, because it's American history and there's just so many different people to choose from the start of America to now. So we have a couple of ideas that we're thinking about, some really fun ones, but it's just going to depend on the resources that we can find, or that we may already have, and who she ultimately decides to go with. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video on Faces of History and who my daughter is going to be and what her resources are. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love to have you here as a part of my community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!